Hi, I'm Shimelle from Shimelle.com, and today Amy Tan has challenged me to show you a little bit behind the scenes of where I film. This is a little scary for me. I don't normally do this sort of thing. So I'm going to show you a little bit of how my videos come together. So I use two different cameras if I'm showing you my face. Which I don't do very often. So the camera I'm on right now is the same one that Amy uses for her vlogs. It's the Canon G7X, and I'll show you that more in a minute. I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see where I film. So this is my desk. So this is the last layout I did. It sat here on my desk. Well, I say I did. My sparkly friend may have made this one. So if I back up a little bit, you can see that my desk looks nice and clean here, but it's not really. So there's my trimmer and all my tools over to the side. I haven't put my snowflake punches away from Christmas just yet. And on this side, I tend to have a little basket where I gather things and some more punches and whatever else I've been using lately. Okay, but the camera that catches all this is hanging here over my head, and oh my goodness, you've just seen the background, and let's not talk about that just yet. So this is the camera I use to film. I'm going to take you around to the other side to see it. Here it is. This is what I use to do all my overhead shots, and it's a Canon 5D Mark II. Mark II because I've had it a little while. There's a Mark III now. And I use the 1740L lens, which I upgraded to 2 or 3 years back now, and I love, love, love it. It's a super wide angle lens, but doesn't distort like a fisheye for the height I'm doing my videos at. And then this thing that's over to the right of the frame, this arm, is what changed my life in order to scrapbook right side up for you instead of just upside down. So if you've watched my videos for a long time, you might remember that I used to scrapbook upside down when I filmed, and then one day I just stopped and turned it back around. And this is the difference. When I scrapbooked upside down, my tripod was on the opposite side of the desk from me, and the camera was angled down. And now my tripod is over there to the side, and I have this big magic arm that strong holds that big heavy camera right over my work surface. It's awesome. Okay, so my tripod is just a big tall tripod from Calumet, but and any number of tripods could do that job. And then the big arm is from Manfrotto. And so it screws onto the top where you would normally have your camera and extends all those pieces out to the left where the camera now is on that big bar. And you can add a counterweight, which is why I have that pink basket, which is now sun bleached, so it has that lovely ombre effect. Ha! And that basket is just filled with mists and things because I originally planned to make it, I just needed to get the weight right, and I was just putting things from my crafting in there, and then I was going to exchange it for a weight, and I never did. So my mists live in that little basket now, and that works. So you can use it without a counterweight, but if you've got a really heavy camera or a heavy camera plus lens combination, the counterweight can help to keep everything in balance. So I use the counterweight. Yay! And then is my other gadget. This is the other thing that I use. It's a big LCD panel light by Limelight, or I think that's what it's called. It's a Limelight mosaic by a company called Bowens. So you can see all the details there. And this is what I use if it's gray outside or if I need to film in the dark. And I used to use tungsten lights, which are much less expensive, I will say, if I needed to have light. And the problem is that tungsten lights are harder to balance, and you can't really, unless you are some sort of goddess of mixing light colors, you can't really mix them with daylight. And what I normally use to film with is this. I have a giant window. The wall opposite where I work, this entire wall behind me as I'm saying this, or in front of me as I'm scrapping, it's a floor-to-ceiling window. It's just a giant glass pane. So even on a really gray day in London, I still get decent light there. But sometimes I need to film after dark, like in the winter when the sun is gone at 4 o'clock. Or it's really, really foggy because it's London, and I need to add a little light. Well, with the tungsten, I couldn't do that. I had to actually buy blackout curtains and black the whole thing out in order to turn the lights on, and I found it really, really frustrating. And then a couple Christmases ago, the Adhesive Avenger wrapped this up, and it changed everything. So I'm going to show you the other side, because this is ugly, but I thought you might need to see the details if you're looking for something like that. So I take you around to this side, and that's what it looks like. So it's a big panel like that. It kind of looks like a light bright, actually. And then obviously when I turn it on, all those light pegs light up really, really, really bright. That's simple, right? But the light quality works really well with the mix. You can see now there's a window behind, and the two lights mix together. Okay, so those are my two big gadgets. And then I have this camera that I'm holding right now. So I'll show you that. So here's the camera I was talking to you on. I've switched and now I'm on that Canon 5D. And this was the one I was holding, which is the Canon G7X. So it has a little lens that pops out automatically. Turn it off so you can see how flat it goes. Now this is an example of what you do not do, and you do not let your very, very curious toddler flick this open because it's a little fragile. It's okay. It hasn't actually done any permanent damage. It just means that I need to put a cloth over it when I put it in my case because that bit of the lens is exposed. It hasn't messed up the actual workings of the camera at all, so I don't worry about it. I'm sorry, I don't know what that says about me, but there we go. Right, it has a screen here, and the screen flips up, so if you want to talk to the camera or do selfies, you have that. So now you can see the camera that I'm on. Hi. Okay, so you can see in the screen like that if you want to talk to the camera, or you can obviously keep it back here. You can definitely take those annoying noises off. I'm not quite sure who's turned mine back on, but it's kind of a running joke in this house that the noises go on and off. There we go. So I can go through, oh, I still have Disneyland photos here, yay. And there's what you just saw. Easy enough. Really, really simple, but good quality point and shoot. I'm really, really happy with it. And you see from Amy's videos as well that the quality when you're out and about, especially outdoors, is beautiful, but I do get good indoor shots with it as well. And it does have a tripod jack at the bottom if you want to put it on a tripod. Now, when I talk to the camera, when you see my face when I'm at my desk, I am on this camera, but I am not on a tripod. I will show you my very, very high-tech setup because this camera is really, really, really lightweight. So I don't bother to set it up on a tripod because I'm only going to use it for a few minutes that way. So I'll show you what I use. I use this. It's a stack of Project Life boxes on my desk. Amazing, huh? So this is on a separate work surface. This is where I keep my Project Life stuff. It's on top of a dresser, and it's just the top of a dresser, and these drawers are where I keep all my photographs and things. There we go. So I just have a little stack that's the right height, and I pop my camera on top of there rather than use a tripod. Very, very fancy. And here I am. So, yeah, that's what behind the scenes in Shimelle's studio looks like. Yeah, try not to be too scared by the backgrounds that you saw because everything is always in a state of flux, and if you feel like that too, then you are not alone. But there we go. It's not at its messiest, but it's definitely not magazine beautiful or anything like that. I sometimes hit my head on this camera. It's okay. I think that's everything. I can't think of anything else to tell you. So I use those cameras. Oh, the only other thing is that every once in a while I do 2 shots during the filming, and I've got a video coming up like this. So you see one that's overhead and you see one that's kind of from the side, and it's a bit more artsy and blurry. I love shots like that because it's what they do on cookery programs and you see them like making scrambled eggs look amazing. Yeah, they use all those cameras over at the edge. So I have two of the same camera but a different lens, and I just put it on a tripod at an angle on the side of my desk. But the reason I can't show you that is I took that camera all the way to CHA. It's the same body that I took backpacking with us, so it's been everywhere. It's had a million things thrown at it. I literally dropped it over a set of ruins in Cambodia and picked it up off the ground. It went to Japan with us a long time ago, and I broke a lens with it in Japan and had to fix the lens with a table knife in a restaurant. You know, needs must. When you're in Japan, you want to keep taking photos, you figure out how to put it back together. Anyway, I took that camera all the way to CHA and I turned it on in California and it said no, and I got a big fatal error and the motherboard has gone. Sad times. So right now I only have one of these, so I can't do any more videos that have that same artsy quality shot from the side. But we'll see what happens if I can replace it or what happens. I don't know at this point. I'm going to take it in and see if it's worth getting fixed or worth saving up for a new one. I don't know. If you have an opinion, you can vote in the comments. Okay, so thank you so much for coming behind the scenes with me in my crazy video land. Happy scrapping, and I'd love to see where you make your stuff. Bye. Thanks so much for coming behind the scenes with me. I hope it wasn't too scary. It was a little scary for me, I'll admit. But maybe I can try to face the camera a little more often. What I am doing more often, well, my sparkly friend is doing more often. Glitter Girl is back in 2016, and she has a new video on this channel every Wednesday, and there were already well over 100 episodes there, so there's a big catalog of Glitter Girl if you want some scrapbooking videos. But also check out Amy's channel, Amy Tan's channel. She's been around for a long time, but her YouTube is relatively new and she's doing lots of exciting things. She tries to upload about 2 videos a week, and they tend to be a mix of things that are out there in everyday life, kind of vlog style, along with her crafting. So I hope you enjoyed. Thanks so much for coming behind the scenes with me, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye! I bought this to keep mist, and instead it holds my nail varnish. True story.